Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of EETV where we strive to bring you everything in entertainment. I am excited about this episode because I have been waiting for this for a long time. Eric July has released the Rippaverse, Isom #1. I just received my copy of Isom #1 in the mail this evening and I had time to read it and go through it. And I have to say this, if you're a comic book fan and you're looking for new material to read and enjoy, I would recommend this book to you. Definitely pick up Isom #1. The quality of the artwork is fantastic. The story is interesting and gives you enough in this first issue to get you excited about what could come next, and it also, like a good story should, leaves questions for you to want more. The artwork is great. The quality of the paper that the media is printed on is fantastic. The cover is great. I enjoyed it overall. I think you should definitely check this out if you're looking for new material to get into. And also think of this: when's the last time you had a comic come out that you were really excited about and you really wanted to get into it? Think about all the other comic books that have been out over the years, and you just imagine to yourself, I wonder what it was like when the first Spider-Man came out. I wonder what it was like when the first Superman came out, and what did those people do when Spawn first came out and they first read the material, and they were one of the first people to read it and discuss it. Well, that's the opportunity that you have right now. This is a new, exciting story, and you have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor and enjoy it, and enjoy it well, and discuss it with other people and speculate what's going to happen. So we're going to get into this video. I don't want to waste your time. I definitely want to keep these videos under 10 minutes because time is your most precious resource, and I'm not trying to waste it. And I thank you everyone for subscribing to this channel. I have reached over 100 subscribers, so I would thank you very much for that. So with that being said, let's get into the details. Not all, but some of the details of Isom #1. Now, one of the first things you notice, I'm not going to show all of the panels here because you should definitely pick up this book, and I don't want to spoil everything by showing you all the artwork. So I will be only showing you very limited panels. Now, as you see here, as the book opens up, it opens up on a training facility. Looks like a ranch outside of Flores Park, Texas. And you see that there's weight training, there's a track, and there is a ranch. As you can see in this picture here, we find out that Avery Silman, who is also known as Isom, but you won't find that out till later in the book, that this is his place. He's off the grid, so to say. And he gets a phone call from his sister asking him to check on a family friend by the name of Jasmine. And the last time they saw her, it was with his old friend. Now, I only read this once, so you have to forgive me if I don't remember all the main players' names. I wanted to get this video out here because I was so excited. So he goes to visit his old friend. He winds up getting into a fight with his old friend, with some exchange of words. And in this universe, what Eric July has stated, that the superpower individuals are known as Accepts. And we run into our first Accept that Avery Silman, Isom, has to fight. And they get into a scrap, and he launches Avery Silman. Also, while that's going on, we get introduced to Yaira, and Yaira is taking care of business and she happens to run into the police. The police call in the Alpha Corps, and we also get introduced to the Alpha Corps. The Alpha Corps comes and intercepts Yara. All 3 members of the Alpha Corps intercept Yara, and they're having it out. So when Avery was fighting that accept at his old friend's club that he went to high school with, and Yara is having her battle with the Alpha Corps, both of them get launched in different directions and actually wound up colliding with one another in mid-air. Yara mistakes Isom, Avery Silman, as someone that's trying to take her out, and Avery Silman, he sees Yara as, another obstacle. So they have it out. But as you know, as I already speculated in my first video about what could happen in Isom number 1, it's come to fruition that through the panels that Eric July released, we found out that Isom cannot fly. And I was correct on that. He cannot fly. Yara beats him and throws him down a considerable height right on top of a taxi. Ouch. And making his funny statement that he can't fly. So the Alpha Corps takes him to the hospital, but Avery Silman escapes the hospital. And the interesting thing about this, if you have this book, pay attention to the conversation held by the 2 doctors. They're talking about they're not quite sure if Avery Silman is an accept or not, because when they did the test on him, because they found out, through the Alpha Corps telling them he was thrown down a considerable height. So any regular human should be dead, but he's not dead. So he might be an accept. Either the nurse or the other doctors saying that he has passed the test, that he is not an accept, but given to what he survived, he may be one. And the other doctor said he may be one because we don't have all superpower individuals in the database here. So they went to go get him, and he's not in the room. And I also like the funny remark that they put in here, like, given to what he survived and what you think he might have been, I think it would have been best if you didn't house his room on the first floor, because it made it easy for him to escape. He escapes. His sister picks him up, and what I like this. I like people who plan ahead. I can tell already that I'm going to really enjoy Avery Silman's character because he planned ahead. And he had these a tracking GPS device in case he gets into some trouble. And his sister comes and picks him up because he had the GPS device on his ankle, on the bracelet. And she picks him up. He goes get his car out the impound lot. He tells him his sister what happened. And then he changes his clothes, and he's going right back at him at his old friend's club again, because that's the last thing they would expect of him. So he goes after his friend. And he breaks into the club. Well, actually, I like this part of the story too. And sometimes when a main character is looking for someone that is missing, it may be a while before he finds her. No, he finds Jasmine in the middle of the first issue, and he just runs into her outside of the club and is like, yo, what's going on? What's happening here? And she is reluctant to tell him how deep she's really in. And he gets stopped by his old friend's goons. And he's not able to catch up with her, but he goes inside the club and has committed to taking his old friend down. So a fight ensues, and he handles just the regular guys. The Accept with the super strength that he fought earlier in the issue comes back, and they're fighting. And hopefully you paid attention to this. Now I gotta rewind it back before. When Avery Silman had his fight with Yara, she has super speed along with flight and energy protection. Avery Silman did the super speed, leaving after images when he fought the super strong Accept that works for his friend's club, and he even noticed it, like, you couldn't do that before. So I'm going to put this out here right now. I think that Avery Silman is an Accept, but I think that he gains his powers by rigorous training, and he also gains his powers through contact with individuals, through viewing their techniques, and also experiencing techniques like through touch. So I think that's one of his powers too, that he can gain stronger the more he trains and the more individuals techniques that he sees and experiences. So this is good. So it's like he's starting off at a lower level, but he'll gradually get stronger. So and I do like that, because it shows that not only is he getting stronger through talent, he's getting stronger through actual hard work and dedication and wanting to reach a goal. So after that fight, and he beats the other Accept that works for his friend and throws him through the wall by using his super strength. When he jumped onto the wall, you could see the wall being chipped away by his fingers and his toes of the boot being chipped away by the wall when he landed on it, and then he kind of propelled himself backwards and was able to knock the guy out. And then I'm just going to flash forward a little bit further just to keep this video moving along. He goes to see the gentleman who made his suit, and I like the conversation between him and that gentleman who made his suit, because they're saying that a lot of things have changed, and everything's basically went from a small time, and now everything about the superhero game is bigger now. So we see in one of the last panels that Avery Silman, aka Isom, his old suit still fits, but one of the things that he wanted the gentleman who makes the alterations to suit to do is to be able to have fall absorption, so when he takes another spill, he won't be as hurt. So that's good. Also, I like the other cutaway that it shows and at the heavy metal concert, and they're showing the other set of individual North Africa, and I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. That guy, the lead singer with the red hair, looks like he might be the Rippaverse representation for the Norse god Thor. Because if you're well versed in Norse mythology, Thor is a redhead in Norse mythology. He's not blonde hair, blue eye like Marvel has him. He has red hair, like he's more depicted in the Rippaverse, which I do enjoy. So that name, when you saw the individuals on the panel, North Africa, I think that it is an affiliation or a team up between the Norse gods and the African gods. And I want to see where that is going as well. And they're saying how they didn't have to get involved in anything in a very long time, and I think that they have to get involved now. So this is looking like this is a well written first issue for Isom #1. This is really good. It's setting all these pieces up so you can see where everything's going, and then as the things go along, we get to slowly see how everything comes together and ties in. So I really enjoyed Isom #1. You should get it as soon as you can. I think you will enjoy it too. Eric July has made something really special here, because I have not been this excited about an American-made comic book in a long time. The story kept me interested, and just as everything was wetting my whistle with everything, they leave you with the cliffhanger, so you get to see what goes on in the next issue. So I'm excited about getting issue #2 and seeing everything that's associated with the Rippaverse and all the characters. One other thing I want to say before I close this video: the conversation that Avery Silman was having with this super strong Accept that was employed by his old high school friend that he fought twice and wanted to beat. Pay attention to the conversation that he had before Isom defeated him, when he was saying, "I hate the term Accept because it implies that all of us are the same and you and me are not the same." And of course they weren't the same, because Avery Silman was better than he is. But I'm interested to see just overall how are they going to classify all the Accepts. Are they going to be like, I guess they're going to be like God Accepts, and they're going to be Accepts that can do certain abilities, and then Accepts that have all these abilities that can branch out into other abilities, and then some that are unknown. I like things like that. So I can't wait to see how Eric July is going to take that into account as well. I thank you for tuning into this video. Like, share, and subscribe if you feel like it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.